Dude, did you know that last year Duke legitimately was one of the top 25 teams in scoring defense last year? Did you know that?
Did not know that stat exactly, but I know that they have a very deceptively good and well-coached defense because Mike Elko, elite defensive coordinator, defensive mind from Notre Dame and Texas A&M, is the man leading that team.
Here's the problem. I know Riley Leonard returning for Duke, right?
Yep.
33 total touchdowns. Kid ran the ball a lot too.
Really good athlete.
Best defense in the country last season. One of the best defenses in the country last season. We talked about that. But Garrett Riley in this offense and Cade Klubnik's about to roll. I think they're gonna roll.
I had brought this game up on my potential upsets. I think that it is a potential upset, but I 1,000,000% agree with you. I think that Clemson wins this football game. I don't think it's going to be
that the Riley brothers had bad quarterback and bad offenses.
Exactly. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Tell me that Max Duggan can go off. What do you think Cade Klubnik's about to do? All right.
I
like Duke. I like Duke. I like their coach. I like Elko. Joe, they're not going to be able to stop a nosebleed with a tampon.
We are, in a way, buying a lot of stock in Klubnik for, I think he's like 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions or something like that. But I agree. I agree with you. This is going to be the beginning of a great season for Clemson. I think Duke's going to surprise some people, play him pretty close. I really like Riley Leonard. I think that Riley Leonard's really talented. Duke's offensive line, too, is really freaking good. It's one of the best in the ACC. Graham Barton is a guy who could get very highly drafted out of Duke. Strong, quality player. They're not going to have any trouble, I think, moving the ball in this game. But what is going to be a really difficult uphill task is that if Cade Klubnik, Garrett Riley are cooking, Will Shipley, things are cooking, everything's moving, they're putting up points, there's going to be some drives where Duke's going to get stalled because their defensive line, Clemson's defensive line, is just so freaking good. Tyler Davis, Roro are going to end up having opportunities to tee off on Riley Leonard no matter how good this offensive line is playing throughout that game.
I will say this. Riley Leonard ran for a lot of yards last year, had 33 touchdowns. If you don't not keep contain on him, he will eat you alive. He will eat you alive. Look, I know a lot's been made about Clemson and their wide receivers, but I do think Garrett Riley schemes them open, and I do think that they could not, I do feel like Clemson's offense last year was written in crayon, okay? They've burnt that playbook. I talked to Dabo. They burnt the playbook and brought in Garrett Riley's.
Brought in the Bible, too, probably.
Hey, man. Here's the thing about Clemson, okay?
Yep.
We talk a lot of crap about Clemson, a lot, all right? A lot of it has to do with the BS that Dabo does off the field. People do not look at them in a holistic nature of the talent that they actually have. Joe, they've brought in multiple wide receivers that have been top 100 recruits in the country. Just because they did not have a good year last year does not mean that those kids are not talented. I can turn on the film and watch them run away from Notre Dame. Joe, they got missed. DJU missed. I counted this today. He missed 3 fade routes that might have been 6. 3 fade routes that might have been gone for touchdowns. What if Klubnik does put that up? That's not the receiver's fault that they're getting overthrown or getting underthrown. That's not on them. When you have receivers like South Carolina last year, I challenged everybody last year, go rewatch that South Carolina game and watch DJU underthrow everything, Joe, and it would get picked off, it'd get batted down, and meanwhile, you have a receiver running wide ass open that is trying to come back to the ball where it should be 6. You know why they had success? Because Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, those dudes did not miss those passes. Okay? And that's just the truth. All right.